Hello, I'm Mohsen Jamal and you watch Afghan News. Afghan President Hamid Karzai says his country wants its sovereignty and an end to night raids as conditions for a strategic partnership with the United States, under which some U.S. troops would remain in Afghanistan. Speaking at the opening of the 4-day Loya Grand Assembly, where more than 2,000 Afghan politicians, tribal elders and community leaders are meeting to discuss relations with the United States and possible peace talks with the Taliban, Karzai said Wednesday he does not want parallel institutions set up alongside his government. Karzai also said U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan should stop night raids and house searches immediately. The meeting in the Kabul is being held amid tight security after the Taliban threatened to disturb the talks. Karzai is said to outline the second phase of transferring security responsibility to Afghan forces, which officials said last month would involve all or part of 17 of Afghanistan's 34 provinces. Meanwhile, security was tight in Kabul as Loya began on Wednesday. On Sunday, the Taliban said it had obtained a copy of the detailed security plan for the Loya, a claim that NATO-led International Security Assistance Force dismissed as fabricated propaganda. Last month, the Afghan Taliban said it would target participants in the assembly, which will deliberate upon the possibility of long-term U.S. military bases in Afghanistan. The 4-day gathering in Kabul has brought together more than 2,000 politicians, tribal elders, community leaders, businessmen, and civil society representatives from across the country. Afghan's opposition party leader Abdullah opposed the meeting and said he was going to boycott the Jirga. Parliamentarians also said the meeting is unconstitutional because it sidelines the legislature, which should be the body to decide national issues. 5 insurgents have been killed and 9 others arrested by Afghan National Police, the Interior Ministry said in a statement on Wednesday. The death toll was the result of 4 joint operations launched by Afghan National Police in collaboration with Afghan National Army, National Directorate for Security and coalition forces in Khost, Helmand, Ghazni and Zabul provinces over the past 24 hours. During the operations, ANP also discovered and confiscated a number of ammunition and several kilograms of drugs. In the meantime, ANP discovered and defused 5 anti-vehicle mines which were planted by militants under a culvert in the Daulat Shah district of Laghman province Tuesday. Additionally, the statement said that ANP arrested a man with 8 pistols in the S district of Kabul city at 8 a.m. on Wednesday. The International Committee of the Red Cross said Tuesday that deteriorating security in Afghanistan has impeded access to medical care, driving it to critically low levels in some areas of the country after nearly a decade of war. Jacques de Mayo, the ICRC's head of operations for South Asia, said that despite improvements in the quality of life for certain sectors of the population over the past decade, the security situation in many areas of the country remains alarming. The ICRC said that even residents in the central regions of Logar and Wardak provinces near the capital no longer feel safe, although these areas were considered relatively safe as little as 2 years ago. The ICRC said residents in Logar and Wardak are being intimidated and coerced by all parties into taking sides. U.S. President Barack Obama has urged those wavering on the mission in Afghanistan to see the job through. Speaking at a press conference with Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard, Obama said a transition process was now underway to allow Afghans to build their capacity and take on a greater security role over the next 2 years, but added it was important to do it right. On Iraq, Obama said he had just announced that all U.S. troops would finally withdraw from the country, given his longest-standing opposition to the U.S. involvement in Iraq. He said it was tempting to direct an immediate withdrawal on taking office. Gillard said in their formal and informal meetings, Obama had always shown the greatest possible concern for Australian troops in the field in Afghanistan, adding that their meetings over the last few weeks at various international events had coincided with some of the most bitter and difficult news from Afghanistan. 2 NATO soldiers have been killed following an improvised explosive device attack in southern Afghanistan, the coalition said in a statement. NATO-led International Security Assistance Force did not provide more details about Wednesday's attack, but most troops stationed in southern Afghanistan are American. The deaths bring the number of foreign troops who have died in Afghanistan so far this year to 522. There are around 150,000 foreign troops in Afghanistan fighting insurgents. Pakistan intelligence officials say a suspected U.S. drone strike in northwestern Pakistan has killed at least 18 militants. The official said the unmanned aircraft fired several missiles Wednesday into a house in the southwestern tribal area near the Afghan border. The strike comes a day after officials said a drone attack killed at least 7 militants in Miran-Shah, the main town in neighboring North Waziristan. U.S. officials have never publicly acknowledged drone strikes against militants in Pakistan's tribal areas, but have anonymously confirmed such strikes to various news outlets. Pakistan has condemned the strikes as a violation of its sovereignty, but they are believed to be carried out with the help of Pakistan intelligence. An overloaded school bus collided with a truck, killing 20 and injuring 44 in northwest China on Wednesday morning. Official Chinese agency Xinhua said authorities have blamed overloading as a cause for the incident. The 9-seated minivan, which served as a school bus, was carrying 64 passengers, most of whom were young children from Little Doctor Kindergarten in the Jiangning County, the report said. 4 preschoolers and the bus driver died on the scene, while 15 others died on the way to the hospital, reports added. 44 people, mostly children, have been admitted into the hospital, with 12 of them suffering from serious injuries, authorities said. Investigation into the accident is still underway. Inter-Syrian activists say that army defectors have attacked an intelligence complex in the Damascus suburbs. According to reports, F confirmed the attack would be the first reported assault on a major security facility in the 8-month uprising against President Bashar al-Assad. Members of the Free Syrian Army fired rockets and machine guns at a large Air Force intelligence complex situated in Harasta on the northern edge of the capital along the Damascus-Aleppo highway on Wednesday at about 2:30 a.m. local time, sources said. A gunfight ensued and helicopters circled the area, sources added. There was no immediate report of casualties, and the area where the fighting occurred remained inaccessible, the sources added. And that's all for now. Thanks for staying with us.